thank you. And welcome everybody to the first ever taping of It's All About Morisco. For those of you who don't know, I am your host, Morisco. But before we get started tonight, let Morisco give you a little background of himself. See, a long time ago, Morisco's brother, Juan, was working at a factory. And he was coming home, he was brutally beaten and robbed by a group of little people. And a few days later, he died. Now Morisco swore to him, as Morisco held him in his deathbed, that he would avenge his brother's death by beating every dwarf that came his way. So Morisco became a wrestler. And for 10 years, Morisco has beaten the hell out of every dwarf, midget, little person, and 12-year-old until Morisco has become the most popular wrestler in Mexico. And one day, Morisco lost his head. Morisco was wrestling this 12-year-old, and he was resisting Morisco's Mexican death chop. So, Morisco attempted to power drive him. When the kid's head hit the canvas, his neck snapped, and the kid died. Now, Morisco didn't think anything of it. You know, when you become a wrestler, you always expect a few casualties. But the public, you see, the public, they didn't see it that way. They took away Morisco's wrestling license and put him into rehab. After rehab, the only job Morisco can get was as a bouncer for some exotic dance club. And for 5 years, Morisco worked at that establishment. Until one day, the place was rented out for a Jewish kid's bar mitzvah. As the kid and his dad were walking in the place, the kid quickly recognized who Morisco was. And he asked Morisco, "What are you doing here?" And when Morisco told him, the kid encouraged Morisco to go back into wrestling. So after getting the wrestling license, Morisco entered the sport once again. After winning the championship belt and holding on to it for 5 years, Morisco decided to retire at an early age. Being the most popular person in professional sports, Morisco decided to start his own talk show. And here we are today, and this is Morisco's show. We have on as our first guest a very special person. He is making his first appearance on public access tonight. And the only reason he's actually doing the show is because he's a big fan of Morisco. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's special guest is President Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I love Bill. Yeah, Bill.
But first, before we get started, let Morisco introduce his band. Two very good friends of Morisco's. Morisco likes to call them second best. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great.
Let me ask you a question. Is this your first appearance on public access?
No, we've had some of our concerts recorded and put on public access before.
What kind of music do you guys play?
Well, we usually play a Mexican beat mixed in with some heavy metal electronic.
Oh, that's interesting. Would you guys mind giving us a little sample of that?
Not at all. 1, 2, 3.
That was real great, guys. Hey, Spotty, you okay over there?
No, he's alright, Morisco. He'll be okay.
Hey, many of you don't know, but the producers of this show gave the man over here, Morisco, his oldest cereal, Morisco shredded wheat, perfect for every breakfast with 8 essential vitamins. This cereal is perfect for athletes, midgets, monkeys, anything. And the best part of the cereal, you know, is that when you pour the milk, it don't get soggy. Well, go to your local marketplace to pick this up. And if they don't have it, you talk it to the manager. And you put him in the Cobra clutch. And that's it. It's a beautiful cereal. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, folks, now for the moment we have all been waiting for. We here at It's All About Morisco are very proud to have on as our first guest, coming all the way from Washington, weighing in at 220 pounds, the president of our country and Morisco's biggest fan, President Bill Clinton. It's good to see you.
Pleasure, Mr. Morisco.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
I have to say, Bill, this is quite a nice setup you have here. By the way, I've read your book, and it's quite a page-turner. You really have come a long way.
Why, thank you, Bill. That means a lot coming from you. And let Morisco just say that it's an honor to have you on as our first guest. Morisco knows that the scandals keep you busy and all. And by the way, how is Hillary?
Well, you know, she's doing fine. You know, with everything I've been going through this year, she and Chelsea have been very supportive, and I'm just looking forward to getting back to the business of this country.
That's good to hear. Morisco's bet you didn't know it, but our very own Spidey does a nice impersonation of you.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, Morisco believes that's the only impersonation he actually does. Hey, Spidey, why don't you show us? That's great, Spidey. Let's get down to business, Bill. What really happened between you and Monica?
Mr. Morisco!
Hey, you brought it up.
Well, let me just say again and go on record that I did not have sexual relations with Miss Lewinsky.
Okay, that's fair. But seriously, are you faithful to Hillary?
Let me say this. I am absolutely, positively, 100% faithful to Hillary.
What's that? Morisco has just learned that we have special backstage footage of you, sir, in the green room with one of our interns. Let's go to the videotape.
Sweet, oh, you know, did you just, oh, yeah, the hell, oh, my Lord, oh, that's quite good, oh, my, oh, Lord, yes, oh.
Wow, that's what Morisco calls special footage. You guys have to save that tape for later.
I see nothing wrong with that footage.
Nothing wrong? Morisco hasn't seen that much action since that Pamela and Tommy Lee tape. Remember that one, Spidey?
You know what? I've had enough of this interview, and I'm leaving.
Oh, come on, Bill. Morisco had his audience drive all the way down to New York just to ask you a few questions. Damn it, Bill! Morisco's audience demands answers!
Come on, Bill, boo! All right, I'll take 2 questions.
All right, good. All right, who has a question for the president? Okay, you there in front. Yeah, you. Ask the president a question.
Yeah, yo, what the deal, Emil? Yo, how you rate them hoes you been with, Kinko?
Well, I'll start with the worst and work my way up. First, I'd give Hillary a 3.
A 3?
Yeah, she never did please me. Next, I'd give Paula a 5. She only gets a 5 because of her nose, but since she's gotten it fixed, she's moved up a couple of points.
Yeah, tell Morisco about it.
Now, I'd give Jennifer an 8. Knowing is friggin' hell, though. Which brings me to Monica. She gets, I'd say, a 9.
Wow, a 9?
Yeah, she's not much to look at, but man, once she gets down there and starts to...
Wait a minute. You just told Morisco that you never, ever had any sexual relations with Monica.
No, you're mixing things up, just like the grand jury. I was simply stating this is what I would rate them if I had contact with them.
Well, what about Hillary?
What about her?
Well, you rated her a 3. Now, are you telling Morisco that you never had any sexual relations with her either?
No, she's still a 3.
Alright, whatever. Alright, who else has a question for the president? Okay, you in there, you in the middle. Ask the president a question.
Damn, was Hillary that bad that he had to sleep with them other pigs?
That's it. I don't have to take this crap. I'm the friggin' president. You know what? I came to you for support, Risco, because I thought you were my friend. I could have done any show in the country, but I came to you. You know what? I am out of here.
No, wait. You see what you did, Spidey? Okay, folks, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Bill!
Ever wonder what it would be like to live your entire life behind a mask? For those of us who had to do it, we can tell you, it's not that much fun. Living Life Behind a Mask is the best-selling autobiography from the greatest Mexican wrestler ever to enter the sport, our very own Morisco. This autobiography takes us from a childhood of abuse to an adulthood of fame and fortune. Living Life Behind a Mask is filled with photos of your hero, Morisco. Pictures from his childhood to the Morisco we all know and love today. With Living Life Behind the Mask, you can share those painful nightmares and those pleasant dreams. See what it was like to be ridiculed as a child, having to overcome the death of his brother, and to fight his way to the top.
Let Morisco help you find your pot of gold.
Where's me pot of gold?
is, I'm the president of the goddamn United States, for Christ's sake. You can have an effort into this place for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Bill, you can't let Morisco down like this, Bill. They didn't mean anything by it. They were just questions.
You know, Morisco, I thought you were my friend, but I've never been so humiliated in my entire life.
Wait here, Bill. Morisco's not through with you. Fucking...
I gotta get the hell out of here, this place. Way too much time spent in this hellhole already. What the hell's my secrets in?
Oh, come on, Bill! You can't do this. Morisco needs you. You're our only guest tonight.
No, forget about it. Go to hell.
Come on, Bill.
Don't touch me.
Oh, you don't want none of this, Bill. Morisco's gonna kick your ass.
Wait.
Say uncle! Say uncle!
Uncle!
Yeah! That's 1,485 and 0, punk! Now get the hell out of Morisco's sight.